Welcome to the channel. Today we are diving into the world of welding. Simple project, beginner friendly techniques, and the practical tips that help you turn raw material into something useful and satisfying. Whether you are just unboxed your first welder or you are curious about what welding can do, this video is packed with ideas, inspiration, and real guides to help you to start strong before a strike for our first ARC. Remember, welding is a powerful, creative, and incredible rewarding skill. Let's get started. Welding look intimidating until the first spark happens. The moment when metal flashes bright and suddenly begin to melt and fuse together. It's addictive. Every welder remember the first beads they ever laid, no matter how messy it was or it looked. Don't stress about perfection. At first, welding is a skill of progress, not instant mystery. Today we are exploring a simple do-it-by-yourself project. Anyone start can with a minimal tool along with the techniques and secrets that make welding easier, cleaner, and more fun. Before jumping into the project, the most important part of welding always come back to safety. Welding is safe when done correctly, but it demands respect. Wear a proper auto darkening helmet, gloves designed for welding, long sleeve and closed shoes. Spark travel farther than you expect. Never weld near flammable items, guards, sawdust, chemicals. Keep a fire extinguisher within reach. And remember this, if it feels unsafe, it probably is. Stop and recess. Skill grow over the time, but safety is non-negotiable. The beautiful thing, the beautiful thing about welding is how it transforms your mindset. You begin seeing ordinary item, scrap metal, old tools, broken part as opportunity instead of junk. A broken chair become a chance to practice weld. A rusty old frame and a piece of metal become a garden bench. Welding unlock a part of your brain that solve problem through creation. Let's talk about first real weld. When you knew your goal is not to build a masterpiece, your goal is to get comfortable. Start with running beads on scrap metal. Don't rush or relax your shoulder. Control your breathing and focus on your consistency. Welding is a very similar to handwriting. At first you write awkward, clanky letter, but after repetition your hand naturally find the right rhythm. The same happened with the welding beads. Smooth movement, steady pace, and a good torch angle will give you a breakthrough. Angle matters more than pressure. If your weld are too tall, move slower or increase heat. If they burn through or are too flat, move quicker or reduce heat. Welding is a chance between heat, movement, and the metal thickness. You will learn the language of metal, the way it reacts, the way it sounds, and eventually you won't even think about setting. You just feel what's right. A great first project is a simple welding project, metal project that involve straight cut and right angle help you develop measurement accuracy and the confidence. A small welding cart help organize your weld, gas bottle and tool. It practical and safe for action later. When making the cart, don't obsess over overthinking, weld flawlessly. What matters is creating something solid and usable. You have been surprised how empowering it feels to build something that you will use every time you weld. Another beginner friendly project is a set of metal bracket or the beautiful sculpture. Small pieces allow you to practice joining metal at angle and even in they are not perfectly symmetrical. They are still incredibly useful in a workshop or garage. Welding often teach patience. You take, measure, gain, adjust, and then commit. Patience and precision will separate a decent weld from great finished product. When welding, always remember that clean metal equal clean weld. Dirt, rust, paint, or oil will contaminate your weld. Before striking an ARC, grind the surface until it's shiny. Use a flap disc to smooth it out the joint area. It may feel tedious at first, but proper practice saves time and frustration. The next project that beginner love is making a fire pit on the other beautiful small animal sculpture. Animal sculpture doesn't require ultra precise measurement. The piece don't need to be perfectly square. What you are looking for a strength and function. You can keep scrap steel, old brake drums and the leftover pieces. When building up this beautiful sculpture, be mindful of heat affected zone and weld penetration. You will likely be welding thicker metal, which means hotter setting and slower touch movement. A fire pit shows how your metal react under high heat and how to build something that lasts for long. When it comes to improving techniques, one of the best exercises is learning on stack dams. This refers to the classic weld appearance, small overlapping symmetricals. The secret is rhythm, not speed. Plus, your torch is smooth cadence. Move forward slightly between each pulse. If your weld come out inconsistent, don't be discouraged. Every weld struggles with that pattern at first. The real secret is heat control. Too hot and puddle become hard to manage. Too cold and the weld doesn't flow. Welding is more than a joint metal, it's shaping your confidence. The more you do, the more you realize, and the more you taught what you are capable for. You begin taking a small weld repair, fixing a lawnmower deck, repairing a gate hangs, on reinforcing the old trailers. You start to see welding as a superpower that saves money and gives you independence. Another great starter project is metal, beautiful, small animal sculpture that can create simple bracket with hook to organize, wrench, hammer, and the clamps. This teach you the importance of spacing and alignment. Even small projects like this make your workspace more efficient, make your home more beautiful, and you will notice how welding change how you think. You stop buying solutions, you start making them. There's perhaps a welding measure twice, cut once. For beginner, it more like measure 3 times and cut slowly. You can always grind metal shorter, but you cannot scratch it back to the size. Take your time with layouts, use a square or a magnet to hold pieces in place before tacking. A tack weld is just a temporary hold, a quick zap that keep the metal aligned so you can adjust before committing. You all look right, then complete the weld. Let's talk about heat management. Understanding heat is like learning to control your voice. Too loud and things fall apart. Too slow or soft and nothing happens. Adjust heat based on the metal thickness. Thicker metal required higher voltage or the amperage. Thin metal damage the gentler torch. If you are burning through, angle the torch slightly away from the thinner edge and push the pedal toward the thicker side. A beginner doesn't need expensive equipment. A basic welder, grinder, magnets, clamps and the measuring tapes are enough to start. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you need every tool right away. Welders grow their tools as they grow their skills. Another fun beginner project is making a simple stand for the potted plant or small steel sculpture. The beauty of artistic project is that imperfections become a part of charm. You are learning control, creativity, and how the metal responds when heated. This helps you to build confidence before moving on the more technical project. Keep your welding helmet clean and the lens free from spatters. Nothing is more frustrating than trying to weld through a dirty screen. If you can't see the puddle clearly, your weld still suffers. Being able to see the puddle is everything. The metal tells you what it wants to do if you can't see it. Welding also teaches emotion disciplines. When you rush, your weld shows it. When you're confident and relaxed, your weld looks smoother. Welding rewards patience, punishes frustrations. If you're having a bad welding day, stop and take a break. Reset, come back with a clear head. Let's explore another project. Welding a basic tool or a small table frame. This project introduces more precision. Legs must be even, weld must be strong, and everything must be set a level. You will notice how heat can wrap thin tubing. And to prevent that, alternative welding is different side and give the metal time to cool. Welding is shorter burst, reduce distortion, and keep everything square. When welding thicker metal, consider beveling the edge before welding. A bevel creates space for deeper penetration, allowing the weld to fill the joint properly. Without a bevel, or surface may look welded, but the weld may be lack of strength inside. Strong weld happen below the surface. Speaking of strength, don't just rely on visual appearance. A pretty weld doesn't always mean a strong weld. A true test is penetration. Look for a consistent bead and even a ripple and one undercut. Undercut is when metal is removed from the edge of the weld instead of add. If you see deep grooves along the side of your weld, slow down, or adjust the angle. As you progress, you will notice your weld improving naturally. They will start to flow smoother. You will recognize the sound of good weld, and you will instinctively adjust setting. Welding becomes second nature. The torch feels like an extension of your hand. One of the most satisfying beginner projects is making custom design, a name, a word, or the initial bend flat bar or rod into a shape and weld them together. This introduces bending, shaping, and joining curved metal. Once you are happy with the design, you can grind smooth and paint it. Suddenly, you have created something personalized, meaningful, and built from pure imagination. Welding isn't just about function, it's also about expression. Some of the best metal art is weld started with massive weld and a vision. Create one of welding biggest reward. Remember this key welding tip: slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Don't rush the puddle, don't fight the weld. Guide it and let the metal flow. Clean weld joint, patience, preparation, and the good visibility. Those will take you so far. Before continuing with more project ideas, let's revisit safety. UV rays from welding can burn skin faster than sunlight. Spark can land in pockets, shoes, and even behind your neck. That's why welders wear flame-resistant cloth. Avoid synthetic fabric. They can melt, stick to your skin, and cause of serious burn. Natural fabrics like cotton are safe. Never weld inside a closed space without a proper ventilation. Welding fumes need to be escaped. Fresh air keeps your lungs safe. A welding project with clamps make life easier, but if you don't have one yet, use whatever surface is stable and fireproof. Just be sure to ground your weld properly. Always attach the ground clamp to clean metal. A poor ground connection causes unstable ARC spatter and frustration. One more beginner activity that teach precision is making a square frame. Cut 4 equal pieces, grinder edge, tack corner, then weld solid one. Everything is square. Frame force you to pay attention to alignment, heat control, and distortion. If the frame pull or wraps, don't get discouraged. Even pros deals with metal shift. The trick is welding opposite sides, alternating heat, and clamping securely. Grinding is a part of process. Welder grinder. A grinder is your best friend, especially when you are learning. A grinder fixes mistakes. A grinder shapes weld. A grinder makes project look international, intentional, and clean. Grinding your weld flat doesn't make you less of welder. Sometimes it just make the project look better and bigger. Another satisfying beginner project is a beautiful steel coat rack and a wall hook. Bend steel rod and rebar into a hook and weld them to a flat plate. Attach the plate to your wall, as suddenly you have created something practical. You will find these little victorious motivates. you to take a bigger building. Let me talk about welding techniques again. Push or pull. For MIG welding steel, most welders pull when they want deeper penetration and push when they want cleaner weld. As beginner, try pushing. The weld pull stays more visible. Your torch could be about 10 or 15 degrees off perpendicular. Too steep or too flat, you will either push metal out of the puddle or trap gas. Always listen. A good MIG weld sound is like frying bacon, consistent, steady, and smooth. If your weld sputter and pops, your wire speed or heat may be off. Small adjustment make big difference. Welding isn't just about forcing metal, it's about guiding energy. Welding also teach organization. A clean workspace lead to clean weld. Put tool back in the same place. Keep the wire brush nearby. Blow off dust. Every successful weld is the result of preparation. Now here is the advanced beginner project. Make a small low rolling welding cart with shelf. Add hook for cable, loop for clamps, and spot to store your grinder. When you create something that improves your workflow, welding becomes more easier and enjoyable. Another favorite project is a corner clamp welding jig. Metal fabrication becomes much easier when you build tools that make step faster. Welding often make their own tools that the joy of craft. You don't just build project, you build the workshop itself. Let's talk welding mindset. Every project, no matter how small, teach your brain problem solving. Welding pushes you to slow down, visualize, measure perfectly, and think before reacting. You connect planning and execution. The feeling of building something like your hand is incredibly grounding. Sometimes a beginner struggle with shaky hand. Here is a secret. Anchor your twist or elbow against something. A steady anchor gives you a more control over torch and helps you to create smooth beats. Over time, muscle memory take over. One of the most important skills to develop early is learning to read a welding pool. Watch the edges, watch how the metal melt, watch how the filler material flow. If you can see the puddle earlier and clearly and understand how the metal react, your weld will improve dramatically. Let's discuss the simple metal rack project. Welding is like chess. You always plan 3 moves ahead. Where will heat build up? Will this piece wrap? And is it square before committing fully? This forward-thinking mindset will carry out into every part of your life. Another project idea is metal trellis for your backyard or the garden. Lightweight, artistic, and allow rooms for experimentation, curves, angles, and intricate pattern. When you create something that intricate with your outdoor space, welding become part of your lifestyle. Welding will frustrate you sometime. That's normal, but breakthrough comes just after a frustrating moment. When your beat finally lays smooth, when your project stand level, when someone compliment what you have built, you feel unstoppable. Never forget to clean between passes. If you're building layer from bonding, well, a quick brush and the grinder ensure strong fusion, strong weld mean your project lasts. Let's talk about storage. Building a clamp rack, build a grinder stand, build a scrap metal bin. These simple workshop projects are welding gold. They provide practice while helping you to get organized. Soon your entire shop become gallery of your progress. Another powerful beginner project is a heavy dust extension cord holder. Weld a circular frame and attach a hook, hang it on, and no more tangled cord. Little upgraded like this transforms chaos into productivity. You will notice something interesting when welding becomes part of your routine, your creativity expand. You start seeing metal differently, not as a rigid, cold, and industrial, but as medium with infinite possibilities. If you weld as a whole of porosity, check your gas when below, shielding gas away. If you're welding outside, block the wind, increase the gas flow slightly, and switch to the flux core wire. Beginner often get gas flow adjustment matter. Another tip, keep spare consumable contact tips, wire nozzle, and the welding wire run out at inconvenient time. A well-prepared weld stay productive. Don't compare your weld to someone at 10 years of experience. Compare them to the yesterday weld. Improvement is the goal, not perfection. Next project idea. Let's touch a grinder weld flush. Some grinder make a project cleaner, some make it weak, and the structural joint decide whether strength or appearance matter more. If a weld must hold heavy weight, leave it proud. If it's cosmetic, smooth and careful. Let's talk about final cleanup. After welding, remove spatter if needed. Use a flap disc to smooth the edges. Clean up sharp corner and avoid cuts. A finished product should be safe to touch. Paint the metal to protect from rust. Prime first and the paint. Watching the finished product dries feel like the final step to the journey. Metal work lasts. Many of your early project will still be around year from now. They outline trend, style, and something, even the furniture around them. It's satisfying knowing your weld creates something durable. Your welding journey might start small, a bracket or a track, a cart, but eventually, who knows, you might weld a custom trailer. And the wrap up our welding session. You have learned beginner techniques, safety habits, project ideas, mindset that turn metalworking into a lifelong passion. Welding doesn't require perfection. It required curiosity, patience, and willingness to learn. If you enjoy the guide, subscribe and stick around. And more you weld, and more you build, and more confident you become. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep creating. Rest of the video is here. Please do subscribe our YouTube channel for more videos. I hope you have enjoyed our video. Thank you so much. Keep watching.